All right. Anybody just joining? I'm sorry, I'm way late. About 3 hours late, which I'm not happy about. Stuff came up, and everything. So that's my dumbass on that part. Homelessness is a big problem. I've been homeless, and I wanted to go over this stuff because, you know, I've been through some of it as well. And I don't like it where it's becoming criminal to be homeless and stuff like that. We're going to get on different sides of this subject and everything, and then we're going to get into drones and into relationships and stuff like that. It's very important to me because there's a lot that people don't know about homelessness. It's gone up to 18%. Let me see. 18% now. And some of it they say is also because of illegals and stuff like that. There's a huge problem with what's going on. But let's get through to this video. Aussie Baby here has done this for us, so let's go.
Glimmering sidewalks of Herald Square. Homeless outreach workers are pleading with a man with bare feet. Others approach another man who refuses to move.
This breaks my heart right here.
Mayor Adams is determined to change.
So every winter when temperatures drop, the subway sadly turns into a place of refuge for New York City's homeless. And while the city has plans to relocate unhoused individuals out of America's largest public transit network, activists say the homeless have a right to use the subway how they see fit.
You see how they got, look. What if you're a fat ass? Like, I mean, damn. Yeah, that's bad.
Then you'd have to pay for 2 seats. You can't have one, Ozzy. You can't. You know that. They charge you if you're homeless. It's 10 extra cents. It's 10 cents. You better pay up or get the fuck out. Let's be honest. It's just like on a plane. You have to pay for a double seat.
You stop it? Well, that's true.
To use the subway how they see fit since it's open to the public. But as it turns out, the mayor has plans to change that.
We are getting a better idea of the progress being made under the Adams administration's controversial overnight homeless outreach program.
This is a picture-perfect example of why we should not be saying he has a right to be out there. He doesn't know he needs help.
On a crowded subway station, you've got half the subway cars taken up with people who are sleeping. They're not committing a crime per se here, but this is a symptom of a larger problem.
Yeah, it is.
Sad-looking storefronts here underground where you could once grab a slice or a newspaper or a coffee. Of 195 retail spaces in the subway system, only 52 of them are open for business. A vacancy rate of nearly 75%.
I have 2 young boys. They're 9 and 13.
If they go into jail, as you see, some people get arrested here because homeless people, a lot of them do have mental issues. If they get arrested, they go to jail or prison. that's free food, drink right there. I mean, you know, but they're mentally unstable. They need to create special places in these jails for people with mental problems versus those that are in there for real serious, violent offenses and stuff like that. And I've made videos before where they need more mental hospitals, not institutions, but like how they have in England. I've done videos how in England they have mental health the hospitals, not institutions, there's a difference. Insanity wards, there's a difference between insanity wards and mental health hospitals. You do not want corrections in this because they don't give a shit about people with mental issues that much, and they're not trained. They're not trained. They're really for the violent offenders and stuff like that. When I was in jail, there were people for medical as well, but you get into prison, you're all housed together, and how they have now needs to be changed for those with mental illnesses versus those that do violent offenses that know what they're doing. There's a big difference between the two factions there. And, you know, when... Let's get back to this. I'll go back over some stuff that I'm talking about.
I don't want my boys walking around that. I don't feel they're safe when we see that.
It's about of course. I mean, like, because the thing is that this is another one of those situations, like what I was telling about before, is that I've had to deal with a lot. Like, this is in Austin, right? You think Austin gives a fuck about homeless people? Like, we don't give a fuck. Like, the cops don't give a fuck. Like, nobody gives a fuck. Yeah. So, like, you just got homeless people. They're building rest spaces. They're building they got 2-story rest spaces under a bridge. Like, I take pictures of it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, damn, that's crazy. I never thought, I didn't even think you could do that. Yeah, Hobotopia. Yeah, exactly, right? Honestly, it's impressive. I kind of like looking at them, right? And so show it. No, and so like the cops don't care, like nobody cares. But I do think that like the problem is that every once in a while you do have one of them that's like aggro, right? And like it's the same thing what I said before about how like kind of 99% of these people are just fucking like their life sucks so bad. They don't want to have anything to do with you. They just want to sit there and it's like exist. But the 1% that's like hostile or aggressive, they're the ones that everybody thinks about, right?
It's a lot more than 1%. A lot higher. And my own experiences from mass transit and using subway trains and stuff like that is that there's a lot of crazy people on them. You honestly don't know if someone's going to attack you when you get on one, if someone's going to go mental on you, because there are. As I said in different videos, you know, I don't have a car, I don't use a car. I don't have one. And I go out to get groceries, stuff like that. Sometimes I have a friend get me groceries, you know, once a month, I'd say. Other times I do that myself. You know, I carry these bags, walk, take the bus, miles and miles and miles of stuff. And people will just start talking about killing other people and stuff like that. They just go mental. They see it as a venting space on these buses or on these trains. And it goes violent quick. So does it like the way you look or whatever? They just go off. They go off on you or somebody else. Or somebody hasn't taken their meds. They just fucking blow up. And there's this one guy who's doing all this stuff on the bus with his hands and a couple of the girls. And it's like one of the girls, as soon as the bus stops, says, if I don't get off this fucking bus, I'm going to kill somebody, you know, and knife of it and stuff. And it's like I told the bus driver, there's this guy right over here, he's doing all sexual shit and like that to the girls and stuff like that. The thing is, if you try to defend yourself, the way that the laws are, they protect these people, these bad people, more than the people that they're committing crimes. versus the people that are good at defending others. So if you have to take somebody out, whether physically or lethal force, chances are you're the one that's guilty until proven innocent, which is the way it really is. You're always guilty until proven innocent in this country, the way it is. That's just facts. And nobody wants to intervene or say or do anything because of that. Where we're to get in trouble instead of the people that's committing the offenses or the crimes. And you definitely don't want to have kids. You don't want to have kids on these trains and stuff like that, and homeless people on them. They don't have any place. They shouldn't be on, these buses or trains, just, living on them. That's an abuse of the system, really.
90% mental illness, yeah. Yeah, you pull that, yeah, you don't want to pull aggro on that 1%, right?
You don't.
Understanding our responsibility to help people who are in desperate need,
they'll put out a knife or a gun.
Recognize it themselves.
Yeah.
And there's nothing respectful about leaving somebody to rot.
That's actually a really good point, is that a lot of the people, I think that they usually don't have places to go in a lot of cases. And sometimes they do, but for whatever reason, they can't go there.
Normally they are chill. They keep to themselves, but I've seen a lot more where people, it's not just homeless, but it's just mental people. I shouldn't say homeless so much. A lot of the homeless people could be chill, but I'm talking about the mentals that get on these buses and trains and stuff like that. It's like, I need to clarify. There is a difference, all right? Usually the homeless are chill, all right? I know it's the mentals. I need to correct myself on that. I do need to correct myself on that.
It's just very problematic, extremely problematic. But if you put these people in a place with the public, you're going to have a lot of friction, and it's going to create. It's going to be bad for everybody. It's bad for the homeless people, and it's bad for the public too. It's like everybody loses.
Yeah, you got piss, urine, and you got shit in some of these places. And I was talking to a friend about, him taking the train, the subways and stuff like that, where it smells like shit, it smells like piss and shit, and you can see it sometimes where you go in these places. So it doesn't help the economy either with businesses.
That one guy set her on fire. Yeah, he's just a psycho. You set people on fire. Normal people don't set other normal people on fire, right? That's psycho behavior.
Starting to say the subway is turning into an underground wasteland. And we're going to investigate this wasteland to see how bad it really is. But what nobody wants to admit is that you could drastically decrease the number of people living down here if you do more to help them live somewhere else. But our subway is actually a mess of New York City's own making, with crime and lawlessness so out of control down here. There is still a force of National Guard troops.
Yeah, they got a lot of people down there. This is what they need to do. The thing is that it's like a problem that gets worse. So, if you know that you can go down there and act the fool, you're going to have way more people doing it. Because everybody's going to be doing it. Because now that's where you can go and do that. And so you have to have these people there, and it makes itself worse and worse and worse. It's a snowball effect. Exactly, yeah.
Deployed throughout the system, monitoring it for dangerous activity, along with thousands of extra police, and city leaders know that the second they pull out, the criminals are just going to come right back. But something? Lawlessness doesn't stop at physical crimes like robbery and assault, which still take place down here because troops aren't riding the trains. The lawlessness down here also includes fare evasion, which costs the city roughly $700 million a year in financial losses. And
$700 million.
Let me tell you, in L.A., they have them. They have the police down there in L.A. You do that over there, you you ain't doing that over there. Only a few people will get away with doing that, but a lot of stations in LA, underground ones, there where the police, they'll patrol that. There's only a few places that they don't. And I remember, like, in some gang-ridden areas of South Central around there, the police used to ride the trains going red, blue line, stuff like that. I don't know, it was off and on stuff like that, but I mean, if you want to get rid of the crime, you got it. I mean, a lot of people don't like cops around them. They don't like that. It's like, you don't want the cops around unless you need them. So, and there's a lot of people that don't like cops, and there are people that do. It's like, you got all these different people. And, well, you get rid of the cops on a train or a bus, you're going to have crimes committed. So it's like, you're down if you do and down if you don't. You got, you can't have it both ways, but.
If it costs $700 million to have fare losses, wouldn't it just be better to have somebody there and pay them like $100,000 a year to just stop them from doing that? Like, because I feel like if you have the logic, like, couldn't you save a bunch of fucking money? But why did they not figure this out?
They just don't do it.
$700 million is nothing. Yeah, but $10 million to pay the guys to sit there is even less.
China,
so I feel like it makes sense.
Vietnam and other countries and stuff. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. No, the thing is, like, that who knows where the money goes? Yeah, I know. It just doesn't. Japan has a system like that. Yeah, no, that's what I would.
China,
yeah, for sure.
Asia has that.
You can't have people that are crossing the shit and not paying.
Korea.
What the fuck? Like, everybody did that. You couldn't run the system. Automatic turrets.
Automatic turrets. Oh shit!
Oh shit! They got the turrets. Damn! All right.
Just shoot everybody.
When the MTA arrests fare beaters, they tend to have active warrants. On top of that, high-profile case involving Jordan Neely, a homeless street performer with 42 prior arrests, has city officials admitting more people could unknowingly be putting themselves and others in harm's way. And that brings us to the real reason why the city is now taking drastic steps to move people.
42? Oh no, that dude. That dude went ape shit. That dude was going wild.
Homeless, living in the subway, out of it. It puts people with mental health issues at risk.
Like, and that's the thing, is that Jordan guy, like, that guy, I mean, obviously somebody needed to stop him because he's coming at somebody with a knife, right? Obviously. But he should have never been in public to begin with.
No, he shouldn't have.
Like,
there's so many people that I see on the trains and buses that should be in a medical facility, not in an insane asylum, but they should be at least in one of these medical facilities like they have in the UK, where if they don't take their medicine, if they don't take their Skittles, as they said in jail, if people don't take their Skittles, then, you're not getting out. You can't, you ain't gonna be able to go out and do things, and be with society, and stuff like that. And I wonder when I get on them sometimes, like, how the fuck are these sons of bitches on the street? It's like, how the fuck? I'm sorry for my language, kind of sorry, but I'm from the streets a lot, I'm on the streets a lot, so that's my language. It's just me, and stuff like that. I should try and curb my language a lot more, but I can't sometimes because if this stuff affects me, it's very personal to me, and stuff like that. But yeah, you wonder, like, how the fuck are these people on the streets? or ride a bus or on a train. They should, when you just start shit, you go ape shit on people and everything, because all people want to do is get from point A to point B in peace. You don't want any trouble or anything. You just want to get back and forth and be on your way back home. That's it. You don't want no trouble. You want peace and harmony as much as possible. You have to deal enough with people being sick on buses and having to worry about catching some virus or something like that, or sickness, Only that, but they smell up the place. You'll smell up. Yeah.
He should have never been there. He should have been in a mental institution. He should have been in jail. Yeah. He should have been in a place where people were taking care of him. There's just something wrong with him. There's something massively wrong with him. And if you don't do that, you put everybody at risk. And this is the problem that people... Greenland, yeah, exactly. That's why we're buying Greenland. We're going to put all of them
that's why Greenland. Trump is taking Greenland.
Fair for a city that spends as much money as New York does every year not to do more to help people who think this is the only place they have to stay. And with the city...
Do you think about how much money the state spent on Jordan... not Jordan Neely, but what's the...
Our new battle simulation is going to be Greenland. It's going to be Panama Canal and everything else. We're just going to take over the whole world, I guess.
That killed him? I forgot his name. Daniel Penny. How much money the state spent on Daniel Penny proceedings? Millions of dollars. Like, I'm talking about millions and millions of dollars spent dealing with this.
And people usually don't have money. If you have to... if somebody gets in your face, attacks you on a bus or somebody else, you try and defend them or yourself, people like me or other people out there ain't got money. We ain't got money for lawyers. So that means we can spend our time in prison or jail for defending ourselves or others. And this is why we don't do anything to help others a lot of times. It's bullshit, the way that stupid law enforcement and how they use the laws against, good people. But that's the reality of how it works.
This guy, processing him, getting him around, trials, conversations, interviews with the fucking media, millions of dollars. When you could have just spent maybe $1 million to keep this guy taken care of, and that's it. That'd all be it. The West has become too tolerant to people that misbehave. The problem is that it is a form of self-indulgent tolerance that is built around trying to make a person feel good and not trying to solve a problem.
Well, it's that, and also it can be too much this way or too much that way, and I feel like we need to have more of a middle ground instead of tolerating too much. We need to take it case by case basis, just like with all these laws that there are with crime and stuff like that. They should be case by case basis instead of law for everybody, one law for everybody. That's what it should be, because our system, justice system, is very bad right now, still. But
so these people care more about doing what is optically the right thing, but they don't care about actually solving the problem. Because and this is what I was saying before about how it's like this performative, selfish empathy that people have. I think this is a great example of it right here. Activism starts when action starts, or stops when action starts. Yeah, exactly. Does the U.S. have forceful institutionalization? For crazy extremes, yeah. But we used to, and
yeah, that requires 3 people. Requires a psychiatrist, psychologist, and person from family or social services, stuff like that. It was 3 people to get a person committed. And that should only be a last resort. But with a lot of people I see, you wonder how these people are not being checked and stuff like that. But it's usually the 3 people rule, either like social worker, psych, and 2 other people, 3 people. But
the system we used to have was also really, really, really bad. So we got rid of it.
It was.
And we let them loose. It's all performative. Yeah, that's it. A bullet probably only costs a few cents, right? No, you can't shoot people that are crazy. Because, like, the thing is that this is the way I see it. Like, if you, like, I pay my taxes every year. Like, my family pays their taxes every year. If we have somebody in the family that's nuts, I would want my tax money to go towards the government taking care of that person.
Yeah.
And so, like, you can't just shoot the crazy people because those people's families have paid into this system to take care of them. Right? Like, that's it. They take it. Yeah, exactly. Right? Taxation's theft? It can't be. Taxation is not theft. Theft implies ownership. The government defines ownership. If the government can define ownership, they can also define what is not ownership. You don't own anything.
It's really fucked up, but it's true.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's all a construct.
It is a construct, yeah. I mean, and people asked, what would China do in, like, or Japan? Well, I know, because I've seen it, what they do over there in China, Japan. They have them in way off places. They have the homeless outside the city limits. In the U.S., I see the same thing, where if you're to be homeless, you have to do it way out yonder. And that's what they do in Japan and China, is that you're not considered to be made underground somewhere, some underground place, where it's like they just want them with the rats and stuff like that. That's where the homeless are in those countries, because it doesn't exist. It exists, but you're not going to see it. They're not going to talk about it or anything, because to admit such thing is a failure upon their system, not just the communist system, but their, whether it's democratic, doesn't matter. It implies, says they'd have to admit failure, and that's something that they're not going to do. It's ultra rare that they do.
Controversial congestion pricing scheme, which will tax drivers who refuse to use the subway. The powers that be have decided that if they're going to punish everyone who doesn't use our dangerous public transit networks, they better not do it while also punishing the homeless by neglecting them. But as you're about to see, the city's efforts to help people move out of this place aren't exactly going as planned.
See, I just wish that all those protesters that want to go and sing and talk about how bad Donald Trump is and scream and screech outside of his fucking building, why aren't you over here on the subways helping these crazy people?
That's
why aren't you helping
point.
these people? Like, some of these people are not even crazy, they're just, life is fucked, right?
Yeah.
Like their leg doesn't work or something. Like, like every single time I see a protest somewhere, it's like, how can you be protesting some bullshit like this when you have people that are homeless? Like, if you just took your time
That's his point.
and you put your gas money for $5, everybody put $5 together, make these people food, help them do something, it would be instantly, it's hard. Yeah, exactly, right? Well, that takes actual work. And it's a lot easier to go outside the Trump building and, oh, right, yeah, I'm fighting fascism. Uh-huh.
I gotta say, I hate both sides of the political spectrum. I know he does on some of this, but I do believe that we do need to protest on different things. I believe in protesting and stuff like that. And if a government goes bad, to overthrow it, by force as well. But he has his point and stuff like that. He has his opinion, stuff like that. We're supposed to protest things that we feel we've been wronged in. But anyways.
Pathetic.
That is fucking terrible.
So here we are at the 34th Street Herald Square subway terminal, which is quite large, quite warm, and sadly has become a visual display of the humanitarian crisis taking place beneath the streets of New York City. In fact, this particular area where we're standing right now with this green...
I gotta say, this takes me back to the homeless and stuff like that. And if you're ever homeless, man, you're out on the streets, you don't have a place or anything like that, you gotta watch your back. I don't know how they sleep because they've gone without sleep so long. Sleep deprivation, you just conk out. Or drugs, or whatever, right? But anybody can come by, gangs or just other homeless or any other type of people, they can just come up, go into your pocket or whatever you got lying around. They'll just take it, move on like no one's business. No one's gonna say anything either. No one's gonna say anything. Nobody gives a shit. And that's the worst thing. You never know.
Backdrop here, this used to be the entrance to a mall which has become abandoned, and it's a place where people have been sleeping in the evenings. At least that was what was going on down here until the city decided to take steps to stop that from happening. Steps which many say are extremely controversial. At the same time, look at this place. It's loud, it's bright, there's dripping water, there's trash all over the place. This is not...
Where's the infrastructure bill?
It's obviously a shithole. Like over in Europe, some places in Europe it's like this. In China, it's not like this as much. In Japan, it seems like it's not. This is a shithole.
No, in China and stuff like, there are some few bad places, but in the cities, stuff like that. In Japan, that would never happen. The way that Asians are and the way that they have to have things beautiful and everything. They have, I can't think of the right words right now, but they wouldn't allow that to happen. They maintain their infrastructure usually a lot better. I mean, there's some cities that do have some problems and some water leakage in some places, but you go to like China, Tianjin, these other major cities, they're a lot cleaner. The environment is a lot more peaceful and beautiful. Whereas the cities in America and everything, you have to worry about, someone going off with a gun or something, or starting something, or stealing, or whatever. In China and these other Asian countries, you don't have to worry about that. You have to worry about traffic. About whether you'll be able to cross the street or not. The other stuff's a lot cleaner stuff.
It's disgusting.
Somebody should be trying to live on a full-time basis, that's for sure. And city officials are defending their new plans as being necessary to help those who may not be able to help themselves.
Governor Kathy Hochul said today that Jordan Neely should have been removed from the subway. She is promising a new series of policies to address the state's mental health crisis. That will come as welcome news to those in need And to the boots on the ground, the police officers and social...
So here you have a group of police and outreach workers who invited the press to come with them to this very same subway terminal while they went about contacting, that's what they call it when they interact with people who might appear to be unhoused. And the New York Post...
London, it's not bad as this? Yeah, I mean...
There's the beer can.
The reason I said not Europe is that I think that Europe has a lot of disparities.
Don't go homeless without your beer.
I bet there are places in Europe that are really bad, and there's other places that aren't really bad. That's the only reason I said that. Unhoused? Yeah. So people, the unhoused language, it's like undocumented immigrant. It's like if I go and I steal something from a store, am I an unreceipted customer? No, of course not. It is soft language that's meant to be a euphemism to make people think more positively about the group of people. That's what it is.
Yeah, there is
it's annoying. Never play into it. They're homeless and they're illegal immigrants. It's that simple. Any other language is a lie.
Says that 96 individuals were found to be sleeping in this one terminal. And there's an extremely high likelihood that if this investigation had taken place in more places than just this...
Racist take? Is that my racist? Well, I guess I'm a racist. I don't give a fuck. Like, you want to think I'm a racist? Go ahead. Sure, I don't give a fuck. Like... Okay.
That the sad state of affairs down here would be even more obvious. Furthermore, this tag-along only included a stroll through this terminal. They didn't ride the trains, where there are many people who sadly are calling that their temporary home. And although the total number of homeless living in the subway is unknown, this article estimates it could be as high as 4,100 people. And there could be more people living down here in the subway than in some small towns in America, which is shocking. However, what's even more shocking is that the city's efforts to help move people from here to an actual place which has been set aside for them to stay haven't exactly been working.
Each night, nurses and social workers are teaming up with New York City police officers, part of the mayor's latest initiative to offer shelter and services to the homeless, and to involuntarily commit those with severe mental illness who refuse treatment.
So this is the part where things get controversial. Every night you've got these outreach teams that scour the subway looking for folks.
This is where it's going to get controversial and everything.
Who might be down here and might not have anywhere else to go, and their goal is to help them go somewhere better than this. And the way this is done is by approaching an individual who might be sleeping or lounging about the platform and asking them if they need assistance, which activists say constitutes harassment, while ignoring the inhuman.
What day at a time. I know what he's going to say. I already know where he's going.
Activists say it constitutes harassment.
I know where he's going.
Well, why aren't activists doing anything that constitutes help? Oh, that's right. Because they're activists. They act like they're helping.
Of letting people think this dangerous environment is the only place they've got to stay. However, the New York Post says of the 96 people who were contacted and asked if they needed assistance, only 16 agreed to accept. Yet the city does have the authority to involuntarily commit people who could be a danger to themselves and others, something the governor...
Which they should do, by the way.
That is illegal. You should not have, you don't have the right to do that. That's totally illegal. You're not supposed to be able to do that without legal due process, court of law, and stuff like that. He thinks it's okay, it's not okay. That's criminalizing homelessness. And if you want to be homeless, do it. That's what America is all about, is being able to live the way that you want without stupid government or law enforcement to force you into a way of life. That's not what America was ever about for our ancestors even. I mean, some of our ancestors didn't have a place and stuff like that to even live or anything, but they got through it. There was a time when we didn't have taxes. We didn't have taxes till the Civil War and everything. And state taxes didn't happen till about the 1890s, 1900, 1930. anywhere from like 1900s to 1930s, state taxes, and then we all had things forced down our throat with that.
It's not even a question. They obviously should do this.
Says could have saved Jordan Neely, who was part of an altercation in the subway, which made national headlines. And sadly, the governor makes a good point. If you've got people living in the subway who are not in the right frame of mind to take care of themselves and nothing.
But that's how they say it. How do you know that? How do I know that? I don't trust anything what they say. I don't, because that's what politicians do. And that's what law enforcement does. And these people, they're going to skew it the way that they want to skew it. They're going to virtue signal it. How do you know that, Osmond? You don't. I mean, those people that attacked innocent people, you know they're fucked up. Or they shouldn't be in this country, or in jail or prison, but you have no right to think that all of them are just in one category. People want to be homeless, they have a right to do that. Shouldn't be harassed by stupid law enforcement and government. This is America. This is not a dictatorship.
Is done, those people are at risk.
They put everybody at risk, and they cost the city a lot of money. Like, let's say there's another Jordan Neely, and he gets choked out or killed. Well, this is going to be like the train is delayed, category. Everybody's upset, there's a bunch of police that come down, there's a trial. This is collectively millions of dollars of a problem. $1 million problem.
But you can't put all the homeless into one category. You can't. That's a lie and misrepresentation. You're misrepresenting the other homeless people that just don't want to be a part of society. And I often want to be homeless myself, again, so I can raise enough money to get a better place and stuff like that. Because honestly, rent is too much money. There's hardly enough money for food for the rest of the month for me. There hardly is. God forbid if I have a date or anything like that. God help me if some of these ladies and poor want to do anything with me or you get together. That's out of the question. There's no money for that. They think I'm lying. They think that I lie about not having money. I'm not lying. I just don't have money. Everything costs too much. Inflation's going up. The homelessness is only getting bigger. He pisses me off. I was about to use different cuss words, but I need it. You don't have a right to categorize everyone into one category. There are different categories of homeless people. And for you to say that they're all one category is bullshit.
$10 million problems. You can't let that shit happen. Shelters close the door till morning. You can't do drugs in there. That's why they won't go. Okay, well, I mean, if they're just sitting there smoking.
To those people that do drugs and stuff like that, oh my God, man, that's a different category. That's a different category. Stop lumping everybody into one category. People are stereotyping. Even I do it sometimes, but it's easy to do. Because that's all we hear about on news is the homeless and drug abuse and those mental disorders. And of course, that's the most highest percentage is those that have mental illness and stuff like that and everything. But the drugs, that is a higher percentage. But not all of them, not all homeless people are with that, though most are. If they're going to go off and do drugs and not be in a homeless shelter, and I know about homeless shelters because there's only so much room. There's not enough homeless shelters. But you have to worry about people stealing your stuff. You have to worry about people bringing knives or weapons. People with mental disorders with these shelters. Just crazy people going off on each other, killing, stabbing, stealing, all this other stuff. So a lot of people are not going to want to go there. Homeless shelters are not a solution unless you have, like where I've been at, where you have your own space. I guess you need cameras, you know, so you can make sure people aren't stealing or stuff like that. There is a right way and a wrong way to have shelters, to have people hospitalized and not have hospitalized. I don't trust law enforcement in their BS because they're not trained to do so. Neither are these people that just say take them away and institutionalize them. They're not all qualified there either. They have paid psychologists, stuff like that for the city that aren't really have gone through their 4 to 10 years of getting their PhD. You used to like rent a psychologist, rent a psychs. And they just push paperwork. They push paperwork over and over and over again. They say problem solved when it hasn't gotten solved, and you're just gonna have people getting pissed, knifing law enforcement or whatever because they just want to be left alone. Good, bad. There's the yin yang of everything here. There's this good, bad, all this stuff. And I see all these different sides to it. And it's just that people need to know that before forming their opinion and stuff.
Can crack, then just
it's
arrest
different
them.
Case by case.
Like, I mean, you gotta do something, right? I mean, like, you can't have somebody doing that. I mean, that's not okay. That's it. Yeah.
1,000 have been approached in the past 3 months, and roughly 1/3 have accepted care, including treatment. The critics say that he should have a right to be in a public subway system on a
Not
street,
no.
and he shouldn't be.
No, I should say no. I don't feel homeless people have a right to be in a subway or to take up all this, city blocks or whatever. I'm not vouching for that. I say in certain areas that it's not a threat to other people or get into their business. Do whatever the fuck you want. That's what America's supposed to be about, land of the free. I don't think it's okay to take up all these subways and stuff like that, and all these businesses. I need to clarify that. Because there's been some people, in the future I'll say something. I have to clarify that distinction there.
Harassed by the city or by the police.
And the critics are so far removed from what everyday New Yorkers want.
Thank you. Bro.
That's what I meant, Aussie baby.
And that's not a New Yorkers thing. Anybody anywhere would think that.
Anywhere.
It's completely fucking right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
This morning.
So this report says...
My belief is you want to be homeless, do it in an area where you're not going to mess up other people's business and their way of life and everything. What kind of place? That's a total different thing, ball of wax.
5,000 people have been approached by these outreach teams with better results than were witnessed in this very same terminal. And Mayor Adams has had some incredibly harsh words for progressive critics who say people should be allowed to live in the subway full time with no intervention because it's a public place. He says not only is doing something like that inhumane, it is the opposite of what New Yorkers are actually in favor of. Because
he's completely right. He's absolutely right. Adams sucks though.
No, Adams No, because the Democrats threw him under the bus. And he said, fuck you. He said, fuck you to the Democrats. You have my back. Getting money from you guys and everything. But you guys created this problem with the illegals taking over my city and the state. And you guys ain't helping me. I got these felonies now because of the stuff that my party was for. And I got these corruption charges. That's on you guys. The Democrats didn't help him or anything. And so he said, F you. I'm leaving the party. I just could do what I want. I do my thing. Which he should have done in the first place. Should never be about politics. Sorry, I got a sucker here, but got dry mouth. But if there's a problem, tell me, alright? I'll see if I say things.
What is that? Why would you even say that? He just said something that's accurate. What are you thinking about something else he said in the past that's unrelated to this? What? What are you even doing? Yeah, he's right about this. That's it.
New Yorkers know how much money
Trigger word
they
Andy.
are paying in taxes, and when they get on the subway and they want to ride it and they're either unable to or there's no room to get a seat because someone happens to be living there, they say to themselves, where is this money going if it's not being used to take care of people who have nothing? At the same time, 2025 is a local election year here in the city, which some say has a lot to do with why new steps are being taken to change how things have been getting done around here.
And what's going to happen is that I bet what's going to happen in New York is the same thing that happened like in a lot of places, is that because people that are like of a liberal leaning refuse to address and solve this problem, people will go towards a much more right-wing solution than what they actually want because of how fed up they are with the problem.
Exactly.
And that's what's going to happen.
That's what happened.
They completely ignore it. Yeah, exactly. We're already there. Yeah, no, I think that like I'm not like I don't live there, right? But like I heard that's kind of what happened in the Philippines, and it's like also to a degree what happened in El Salvador too. It's an overcorrection. Yeah.
In South American countries, yeah, in South America with the gangs and also what's happened here. You have all these Democrats that weren't Democrats that voted Republican. Why? Because of illegals, homelessness, not being able to afford even food, necessities of food, being able to go out and have a good time like we used to, rising costs on rent, not being able to buy a house anymore. A stupid house where I am now has risen 40%. Okay, from 100-some thousand to like to 400,000. Bullshit. None of those houses are worth that much money. Not even close. The new scum lost $24 billion. And we have all this stuff for homelessness. You know where all that money is going to? All this money is supposed to help our people. It's going towards illegals. And we're supposed to take care of our own people first. We have our own people that have mental health problems, don't have jobs, and cannot afford all the food and health care and things that we need. And they're putting illegals first, and that's the wrong thing. That's wrong. You don't do that. You don't shit on your own people. You know?
Because every single time people see
Argentina?
a person with nowhere else to go, sleeping.
The thing is, I vote for Republican Trump and I vote for Democrats because I wanted a balance. and I hate the extremes of both sides. I hate politicians on both sides. I have no respect for them whatsoever, because they're psychopathic liars. But I did that to prevent too much extremism. And so when people that are Democrat voted for a Republican to be president because people got pissed at Democrats not caring for their own people enough, they threw us under the bus. And they gotta pay for that. So
being in the subway or on a bus, it looks to them like there is a lack of leadership on this issue. At the same time, the mayor and the police commissioners say that they're fighting an uphill battle. City laws only allow them to do so much to help people who might be in a vulnerable, bad situation, and they want state laws to be passed to enable them to do more. And the specific thing they're looking at doing is codifying
Codifying a law. Let's see. Codify, make rules, involuntary removal. They shouldn't be pushing back because we're out here. Give us the tools that we're saying we need so we can turn the corner on this is inhumane and requires determination. Helping hand, let's do our part. We need all these stop atoms. No! And I need to clarify this again. They don't belong in the subway. Homeless should not be down there. It smells up the place. There's piss, urine, and shit down there. These idiots obviously don't use the buses. They don't. These idiots, they're saying what he's doing is unlawful and wrong, discriminatory harassment. Is full of shit. Why don't you go down there? I know you don't. I know none of you do use the bus or these trains. None of you do. You're a bunch of bullshitters, really.
what is called involuntary removal.
This is a guy, he's got a Skittles box on his head.
This is a picture perfect.
Listen, the thing is, it's cold, it's snowing out there. I get that. But we need more specialized shelters, okay, to get to housing. We need to take what you do. Let me tell you, I'll get into the nitty gritty. You take mental health reports on these people, these homeless people. You put them in different categories. Which ones can actually be able to pay rent? Those who are not mentally able to, those who cannot hold a job, those who have Social Security and don't. The ones that do are given, first status into maybe getting their own housing, in which people have to be put in specialized homes or whatever. But you need to have special mental health reporters. There's good and bad in that as well. I know because I've been around the system on both sides of the fence. I've been on the official side and I've been on the homeless side. So I know what I'm talking about on this. And the thing is, with these people, there needs to be special types of shelters where people can get their cubicles like they have in Lancaster, California, and stuff where people get their own cubicles. Stuff is monitored. You have security, and you have law enforcement as well, coordinating stuff. It can be dangerous, but if you want your own place, if you want to get rid of homelessness, you got to create specialized shelters for the people. And stuff like that. And put them in different categories with mental health issues, drug issues, whether they have Social Security or not, whether they're already in the system or not. There's different categories that you have to think about. I hope people see this someday, because I'm actually going through a lot of different technical stuff on this.
Yeah, the right thing to do is to let this guy just shamble around until something goes wrong.
It's snowing
and here's
out,
another component to
that. Blizzards, this is why they go down here. We need to have that investment into specialized homeless shelters and everything. You know, that security has monitoring, make sure people ain't stealing stuff from other people, rapes, stuff like that. So sexual assaults, batteries, stuff like that.
So we had a guy like this in Austin, and
you got to keep the men away from the women. You have to have one for women, one for the men. Can't have it together.
He was like really well liked. He was a homeless guy, but he was old and people beat the fuck out of him. And it was like a big story here in Austin. Everybody knew about it here in Austin.
What piece of shit.
And the people like this are vulnerable.
Yeah.
And like if you're going and you're
piece of shit, people deserve
you're
to be
in this situation
themselves.
You're gonna have people that are also homeless. You talking about Leslie? Nah, it was another guy. It was the guy that looked like Santa. Leslie was different. The picture of Dr. Pepper ads on a box? Yeah, exactly, right? And so, yeah, it was this really old homeless guy. Everybody loved him, right? And then people beat the fuck out of him. And these people are actually like they're victims because also like if you're a violent person, I mean this is a movie, right? So like this isn't really like a great example, but like you remember whenever like Patrick Bateman kills like this random homeless guy in like American Psycho? Well, I mean fuck, we just had one of these things happen very recently, right? Like that that crazy guy lit that woman on fire. So yeah, no, I mean like
I made a video on that guy. They should have just shot him and killed him instead of just going through a court process. I thought the police officers were pieces of shit too, and should be hanged for allowing her to burn when they could have put the fire out on her. Cops are at fault for that as well. I did my piece on that.
That's and dog, yeah, exactly, right. And so it happens all the time, exactly. So it's like you think that you're trying to like do this person a favor by like have them out there. Like somebody out there, like a bad person, sees this as a punching bag.
Yeah.
That's just what it is, because that's what people do. Like people are just there's bad people out there, right? And they'll do that. And it's again, it's the denial and the delusion of reality that causes this form of
if they do that to people like
extremely toxic altruism.
This is a picture perfect.
I've actually seen that in different cities where gang members, like girl gangs, will go after homeless people. I think they should hang people that do that. Use homeless people like that, steal their stuff and beat up on them. Those are just pieces of shit. You know?
Mullen? Yeah. He's not from here.
He should not be saying he has a right to be out there. He doesn't know he needs help. We have to give him that.
Now, progressive policies say that it would be wrong to intervene in a man's life when he is spiraling out of control, because doing so would take away his right to self-determination and the pursuit of happiness as he sees fit. And for a long time, various leaders of New York have treated the subway as just another public space and have made people feel bad about their desire to see people who are there and are obviously in distress.
Well, he's going to die then? Yeah, no, I mean, like, if you want to look at it and say, like, well, it's a battle royale, that's fine. Okay, sure. But, like, whenever this guy gets stabbed and beaten up and then he's dead the next day,
yeah, people are asking questions. Why the fuck did you do anything? Why the city? There's both sides to this. It's like people just leave them the fuck alone. But when something bad happens, like we're gonna say like, why the fuck did you do anything? There has to be middle ground on it. There's got to be middle ground on it. You know.
Then, you know, that's kind of on you because you let that happen.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you let the, yeah, that's just how it is. It's free will. Yeah, no, for sure. Well, also, the thing is, too, that When you just rage on Christmas, I mean, I'm not really mad about. Like, I'm not mad. I honestly, I think this is just sad, right? It's sad. And, you know, those people that are fake statement as fuck, yeah, attacking progressives, yeah, it's outrageous. The sad thing is society won't care. That's libertarian, not progressive. Sure, but people are going to have whatever opinion.
Yeah, they are.
In some way, something that would also make America's largest public transit network safer and more usable for those who pay to use it. On top of that, a public transit network is not designed as a living quarters for anybody. And at present, state lawmakers are considering the Supportive Interventions Act, which would say that a person in need of medical or psychiatric care can be forcibly removed from the streets. But the only terrifying thing about this is it would be the government who determines who needs a psychiatric evaluation, and that's not going to sit right with everybody. And in the future, what if an act like that is abused? However, proponents...
Oh, I think it's the right...
I go both sides on this. I'm not on one side. I can't. I flip back and forth. It's a case-by-case basis for me. It's a case-by-case. You know? In some cases, damned if you do and damned if you don't. You know, there's going to be people that slip through the cracks. There's always going to be that. There's everything in life that happens. There's always going to be people that slip through the cracks and everything.
Right solution. It is. It's the right. It's not a good solution, but it's the best solution that creates the least friction. It definitely will have negative outcomes.
Yeah.
But it will create positive outcomes at a higher ratio than anything else.
I mean, nobody wants government. I don't trust government because they're so corrupt. If they weren't corrupt, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I wouldn't question government. But know how corrupt they are. And sometimes you have law enforcement where law enforcement's there to arrest people, and they're not there to enforce people's constitutional rights, but they're usually there to make an arrest. And I go into videos where cops I think should be more hardlined, and not this week, but yet I have a love and hate. Cops are needed. Law enforcement is needed. But there's this other side where I don't want them in our business. You don't want them in our business, you know what I'm saying? So...
ideas say that current laws and policies, which do allow for involuntary commitment, don't give the police the tools they need to help those who are now in distress, and who also may not have the agency to understand the effect their choices have on their very lives. However, as you're about to see, there's another cost associated with allowing the subway to be run in this manner, and if the city doesn't do something about it soon, things down here might get even worse.
Yeah, no, I think it's just going to keep getting worse if you let it happen. The government allows it, go figure. Yeah, the utilitarian perspective. No, see, like, I always...
And that's where the aggro comes in, where more people come in. It attracts everybody else. You get more aggro, more people come in. That's what aggro is in gaming talk. So...
I never have any problem to do something that's, like, bad if I think it's the best solution. Like, there are, like, a lot of solutions are not, like, clean. Like, there's very rarely something that, like, you can do that solves a problem with no friction and no collateral damage. And like any system, it's a trade-off, right? It's obviously a trade-off. And so, no one say final, morals is objective. I mean, like, well, you just try to make the best decision for the most people. Right? I mean, I don't know. I think it's super easy to think about, right? Super, super easy to think about. Yeah.
Oh. Yes.
So behind me, we've got a small business. There's a vending machine around the corner here, a couple of ATMs. There are signs of life down here that kind of bring the subway back almost 20 years ago when you used to have all kinds of stores and shops in this environment. A lot of those, however, have not been able to make it. And really, it should be no surprise why a business might find it tough to operate in a high crime environment. That is a visual humanitarian disaster that the city is.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to set up a shop in the middle of the set of Walking Dead.
Yeah. Zombies,
fucking
mental
obviously.
cases, and everything else.
Especially then when the zombies come in and they start eating the food.
He's so right.
No shit.
He's
of
right.
course they're leaving.
You don't want dead people that are walking
not tending to.
Sad-looking storefronts here underground where you could once grab a slice, a newspaper, or a coffee. Of 195 retail spaces in the subway system, only 52 of them are open for business. A vacancy rate of nearly 75%.
So
And
apparently
that affects the whole economy because, like, you got 52 stores there, 150 stores that they're not what do you call it? Not doing business, or 140. There's at least probably 3 people that work in that store. That's like almost like 500 people that they don't have a job now. You see how this happens? Like there's like a cascade effect. Not paying taxes, massive cascade.
We've got hundreds of empty kiosks like the one behind me, which makes sense. This is not a great environment to do anything. It's not even a great environment to get on the train, let alone spend money. At least they've gotten around to reopening some of the bathrooms that have been closed for the last 4 years.
Jesus.
That's a good start. And with the high levels of crime and the constant militarization of this environment, it's hard to think of who wants to have lunch in a place like this or buy something expensive. But it's not just this incredibly dilapidated station, which is having these types of retail problems.
Talking about like some guy that like got fired from his job and lost his house. We're talking about people that are like, mentally ill, violent drug addicts that potentially steal things. Yeah, I mean, like that. I feel like you like don't act like these are. It's all the same. It's not all the same.
Yeah. So I mean, anyways, that's pretty much the gist of that video right there. But this is from Cash Jordan. Give him a shout out. He's the one that did this. Here, this is from Oswego. I like to get people's different frame of minds and pretty much put everything together. Not just my side, but I like to get different people's interpretations. That's why I'm doing, reacting this, because I've been through stuff myself, all this stuff, and I've been through different sides of this. So, but let me see. National sales tax, homelessness. It's gone up 18%. This is 1 day ago. And increased homelessness this year. That's affordable housing and devastating natural disasters. That's another thing that the Democrats did a shit job and kept people from rescuing people in North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, these other states. Is that FEMA gave all the money to illegals, said we didn't have any money for you guys, but we do for them. It's like, fuck you, you piece of shit government. And the administration. Not only that, but FEMA drove off people helping other people. They wouldn't let civilian helicopters come in and rescue people. They committed murder, as a matter of fact, by letting people die in these zones where people got flooded, drowned. People went without medicine, without sugar diabetes medications as well. All this stuff. And some of it had to do with the mines that they had. And they wanted them to just die. So they could open up mines in places like North Carolina, other places. So that's one reason the murder that happened under this administration. And Kamala Harris went to, like, call me daddy when people were dying, and she didn't go to these areas. Both Biden and Kamala Harris paid a price for that. By putting our people last, putting, in these restricted areas. Let me see here. For continued multi-year upward trend. That's for how devastated natural disasters, surge of migrants, and stuff like that. In this one video, this guy, 3,000 crossed the border a few nights ago, something like that, from Hindi, from India, China, Syria. They crossed it, I believe it's probably here in California, and stuff like that. So the Stephen administration just shit on Americans. But I want to get to the drone thing here. Move on. It's 12:35 a.m. East Coast. I really apologize. But actually I want to get to this. Now, I don't like this guy.
So this is the governor of California, the great state of California, which he's destroyed the last 4 years under his reign. He's being asked, what happened for this $24 billion that you asked us taxpayers to fix homelessness? What happened to that money? Here's the exchange. Go ahead, Rob.
$24 billion.
Doing enough to determine whether the money that's being plowed into homelessness is being well spent.
One of the vexing issues that was highlighted in the audit was local, and each city and county has different strategies and approaches. We try to level set that.
I'm sorry, Governor, I didn't hear responses to either of those questions. Do you acknowledge whether the money that the state isn't doing enough to ensure that the money is being well spent?
The audit did not surprise me. The state has advanced unprecedented investments, you're correct, and unprecedented interventions demanding more accountability with state money at the local level.
Yeah. What does that mean, buddy? Tom, what are your thoughts on Newsom and how he's being held accountable with the money and still doesn't give any answers?
You see, this is one reason why I think politicians that use people, lie to people, steal money from the people, let people die and everything else. I believe that some should hang for what they do. I believe if you're a politician, you're law enforcement, you have natural immunity. Yeah, natural immunity, and that's got to change. Because all this money is being stolen from us, these other states as well. There's a lot of corruption and everything like that.
Well, guess what? The questions that are being asked publicly of Gavin Newsom are the ones that are being asked privately by people that are leaking out all over the place about Kamala Harris. What you saw in the Kamala Harris campaign, you take a big stack of money, you give it to bureaucrats and politicians, and they spend it on micro programs and stuff, and there's consultants and there's skim all over that. We saw it in the Harris campaign. Take the billion in the Harris campaign that disappeared, multiply it by 20 over a couple of years. That's what's happening in California. There are consultants in that was lost. There are individual cities that each did things their own way, which was wasteful. You know, the whole point of a state government is to say, we're going to do it this way in every city, and you get some efficiencies like that. If you run a business like that, Pat, you ran an incredibly successful, great nationwide insurance, with one playbook for sales, you had everybody marching together doing it. That's not how it works. You could have a Republican city in Orange County, they get money. You could have a Democrat city in Santa Barbara, they get money, and then they do it themselves. And then they pay their own consultants. And it's waste and it's graft and it's a lack of leadership. And that's what he doesn't want to own up to. Oh, the audit didn't surprise me. You're in charge, dude. You're the governor. You're the one that can put down these guardrails. When there are wildfires in California, Pat, the way it works, the governor declares national disaster area and you have full coordinated efforts. Why? Because there's nothing to hide behind. The flames don't wait. You have to coordinate, you have to show leadership, and you have to get the fire out. But when you're doing this thing on homeless, well, we'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this. Newsom has presided over something that is 20 times more loss than the Kamala Harris campaign. And what's the difference? Not much.
Vinny.
Well, Pat, as you know, I was in California recently for work, for a Manek thing. And just see, first of all, it doesn't surprise me at all. And I don't know if it was just my computer, but this is coming from somebody that's always red and tan. He looks overly red and like, I thought he was like in a satanic costume, Halloween something. I don't know. His face was, he was playing the part very well. But I was just in LA, Pat, and I mean, the homeless situation, just driving around, I was like, oh my God. And mind you, I've been here in Florida for 3 years. It's gotten insane. And it's like, at what point are the people going to say enough is enough and stop putting these type of people in power? Because at the end of the day, Pat, I don't feel bad for you. If you keep voting for these people because, hey, I'm a Democrat and I just, I have to go Democrat, it's on you guys as well. Because we keep hearing the thing.
The thing is, I don't want either side to, because both are too extreme nowadays. They don't care about the people. They just, a bunch of extremists, radical extremists running Democrat or Republican side. But I do agree, the idiots that voted Newsom into office, this is their fault. And they don't care about the people so much. And if you're dumb, you gotta be pretty stupid and pathetic. Just to vote for a party just because your family does it or because you've been doing it. It means you don't have an intelligence, you don't have an IQ, you don't have the ability to think properly. You're just a tool, you're a program. That's all you are. If you are just voting for any party, just because that's what you've always voted for, your family has, or whatever. You're supposed to hold each political party, no matter where you live and what country, accountable if you can. And vote on that. What are they doing for you? And I don't like Peter Bet-David because it's anti-porn bullshit. But this is the only channel that I saw. It's not 10 billion, it's 24 billion. And this is the reason why I voted no on another sales tax for homeless people. Because all they're doing is taking our money and putting it to their own special programs and to illegals and stuff like that. They're not helping the homeless. They don't give a shit about the homeless. They don't care about us. What they're doing is totally illegal. It's fraud. So, anyways, let's get to the drones real quick. Let me switch it up. Go drones. Tell me what you think about this. I want to hear other people's opinions.
Welcome back. As unexplained drones leave millions on edge across the country, one former defense official recently issued this warning about the government's secrecy around UFOs.
Excessive secrecy has led to grave misdeeds against loyal civil servants, military personnel, and the public, all to hide the fact that we are not alone in the cosmos. If we approach the UAP topic in the same way as we, as Americans, have met other challenges, we can restore our faith in our government institutions. I believe that we as Americans can handle the truth, and I also believe the world deserves the truth.
Yeah, Fox News contributor and former Special Operations Intel analyst and drone expert Brett Velkovitz joins us now. Brett, thank you for your service. Thanks for joining us. we listen to that, and he's talking about extraterrestrial, but we really don't have to go outside of our stratosphere to see our government being very secretive and not very trustworthy. I'm looking at the timeline here on these drones, and you have Mayorkas at DHS briefing and saying no big deal. You have Admiral Kirby saying it. These are people who lied to our faces about the border and about the Chinese spy balloon. If that's the credibility and you're saying there's nothing to worry about here, that makes me think there's something to worry about here.
There is.
Yeah, that's the issue, is they've destroyed the credibility with the American people. And look, I want to believe there's some other form of life out there just like the rest of us. And I do have
You gotta be stupid if you don't believe that. You gotta be stupid. There it is. All you have to do is look up. There is. I swear to God, some people are idiots for not believing it.
real curiosity about what's up on our stars, but I'm also pragmatic about it and realistic.
Well, they've been
and
here
to say
forever.
there's some alleged...
They've been here forever, as long as we have. So, I mean, you're pretty dumb and stupid if you don't believe that. Just me.
secret government group that for decades has been covering up evidence of aliens and hiding UFOs in their possession seems a little far-fetched to me. I just, frankly, I don't think the current government is smart enough to do that. But, you know, and then these, in Ukraine, for instance, an estimated 70 to 80% of the daily attacks that take place on the front lines are conducted with drones. You've got even North Korean soldiers who have entered the fight recently being taken out left and right by these kamikaze handheld drones. And frankly, we're not.
He's not much of an intelligent person or intelligent. This should be intelligence, my God. If you don't even know what I know about UFOs, that they're real, that we have re-engineered craft, you're a real idiot if you don't know that. And you don't know what's really going on with this drone scam. About being scammed. Make laws that only hurt civilian use of drones, not this government scam of government, you know, drones and secret drones, re-engineered ET stuff with drones and, you know, ETs, you know, are UFOs are also being seen. Whether they're alien or not is a total different thing. But this is a huge psyop. That's what this is.
Not ready for this. Our military is not prepared for that style of fight. We put too much money in the wrong thing, and there's just a lot of arrogance on our current government administration that thinks they've got it all figured out. But we're never going to fight another war without drones, and our adversaries, they surely get it. I mean, there was a Chinese defense contractor who just signed an agreement for over 1 million handheld kamikaze drones to be produced for the Chinese government before 2026. That scale of production doesn't exist in the U.S. They get it, but our government's not prioritizing it.
Yeah, I've done a lot of coverage here, different shows on Fox about drones because I have friends in that industry coming from the EOD world, and it is the absolute arms race of the future. You talk about us spending money, we spend all.
So going back kamikaze, now that in World War II, they call it the divine wind, the Japanese translation, and they use those as suicide pilots, not to come back, just to kill themselves and ram the ship and blow it up. That's the same thing with these drones and stuff like that.
All this money on the F-35, and you know you can do that with a Walmart drone now. You can implement something that easy. But when we take a step back and look at what's happening, we're kind of honed in on New Jersey, but the lead up to this, I think, created a lot of the hysteria. You had, I think the first thing reported on were drones going near military bases overseas. Then you have a Chinese citizen being caught trying to get back to China after flying a drone near a military base. Then you start to have this happening in the Northeast. And I guess my question to you is, my kind of take on this is a lot of it is coming from people actually finally looking up and paying attention. But is there, within all of this, a layer of there is something specific going on that we need answers on?
We definitely need answers. And look, the recent drone sightings just frankly showed how vulnerable we are as a nation, and that we are no longer in control of our airspace, and the government's lack of adequate response just made matters worse. But I understand why they were like that, frankly. It's because they were caught off guard that how little they even knew themselves, because we don't have the systems in place at the federal and state levels to monitor, identify, disrupt these rogue drone threats. And my concern is our government's just going to wait until somebody dies to do anything, and that's not acceptable. That's because the U.S. doesn't.
It's just a psyop. And honestly, I've done too much on this. I already know it. Some of us know what it is. I think I've done this to death. I just hate saying the same old BS on this because I know what it is. Some of us do. Some of these idiots are trying to make it into warmongering about militarizing airspace and more dictatorship laws and stuff like that. And there is a threat from other countries. There is with drones and stuff like that. But this is a huge psyop thing, a scam. So let's get Kentucky homelessness. I think I'll forgo that. I want to get on with let's see. Where's Caitlin? On how to... Alright, I'll do that one after this one. I'm supposed to have that in my queue for obvious reasons.
We're going to do it over here. We're going to do this over here too. Yeah, people do this all the time.
Gross, real people.
I want to do this because I have an OnlyFans. I've been around, I know some adult stars, stuff like that. And I know both sides. I'm on both sides of the spectrum here. Not just the adult performance side, their side, but on my side as well. I'm in the middle on all these things because I know it's like for both sides and everything. And before we get into this is very important to me because stupid Peter Bet David, we're just on his side, validating. And they had this stupid video about OnlyFans, and I saw both sides of it. But they laid the blame on OnlyFans. And the thing is, you go to these pay sites, or these parlors, in Southeast Asia, or in Asia, they've existed forever. So it's like, they're not going to shut them down because that's just that's a normal everyday thing. Okay, it's paid for sex, whether it's real people you're having sex with, or it's behind a computer screen. Okay? Over there, it's more, acceptable behavior than it is here in the West and stuff like that, which I think is cool. People want to do that, let them do whatever they want. It's the way it should be. But OnlyFans, they did this stupid BS thing where they blamed OnlyFans because this guy murdered a woman because the guy went mentally crazy. He spent tens of thousands of dollars. And he never met up with her, never hanged out with her. And I get his side, but murder... committed murder because of that. He wrote on the walls of this, of where he committed the murder, where she lives. He found out where she lived. He killed her because all pissed off because after those tens of thousands of dollars, he wanted something back. You go to these sites. Don't expect anything personal in return. It's fiction, it's imagination, it's entertainment. It's there mostly to get you off. It's a release. It's there for man, woman to get that release. That's what it's for. Anything more than that, go out and get a real relationship is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to go out and actually talk with people, the other sex. We're supposed to be social creatures. We're not supposed to be in a cave. And it's pretty bad in society and how the government has gotten us, how they corrupted us in a way. They're trying to keep us in instead of promoting getting out. gotta be social with people, and I think it has to do with stupid politics. How both sides have it where we hate each other. We're supposed to hate each other and just off each other's heads if we disagree with another point of view, and people are afraid to be social with people because of political, religious, or economic reasons, or even race. This is a failing of our government, our institutions that brought us here. It isn't, porn, it isn't only fans, it's the government that's at fault in the institutions that we have. Let's move on.
What the fuck happened with humankind?
Oh, here.
Bitch, you've been having, where you said insufficient funds, so...
Asia's loneliest generation? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Here we go. So you got people are simping on a totally different level nowadays.
In Asia, dressing up, guys dressing up, women dressing up like this as cats and stuff like that. That's usual behavior. That's the usual. That's just how they do it there. I like how different things can be in Asia, China, Korea, Japan, South Asia, and stuff like that. I like how things are different. I don't like just one kind of way of living. I like different kinds as well.
I'm telling you guys, like, people are so lonely, it's getting scary. Like, the down bad level of the world now is dangerous.
Morning, welcome back. Always great to see you. Funny thing is, when I swiped your card, it said insufficient funds, so I'm gonna go.
Oh, that's the OnlyFans experience.
Yes, it is. Hallelujah.
Paying someone for love or
Amen,
companionship
brother.
isn't a new revolutionary concept.
Yeah.
We've been doing it for generations. Back in the day, in ye old brothels, if the price is right, Drew Carey would materialize out of thin air with a wheel of potential friends you can spend the night with. Things have definitely...
I had
Drew
a friend
Carey.
of mine.
Where the fuck did Drew Carey come up? Why the fuck? Why did they bring Drew Carey into this, dude? I'm sure he loves that. Oh yeah, if he sees this, I'm sure it's like, how the fuck did my name get into this shit?
I had a friend of mine, basically, he went to Thailand. And
Yes,
so, 'cause
Thailand.
he's in the Navy. And he said that they would give them out, like, it was crazy how they would have these, do I have, like, a book or something?
Do you have a book?
Yeah, I got a book. And so
Sure.
they would give you, like, a little
You
book,
can't.
right? And so, and it would show the pictures of the girls, and it would show, like, the kind of stuff that they'll do. It's like a menu. Yeah, it is like a
Right.
menu. It's like how big their boobs are, like how tall they are, everything like that. And they would just give you one,
fetish type
and he can
thing,
just,
et cetera, et
it's
cetera,
wild.
et
I
cetera.
know. Yes. It's crazy.
Yes.
And he said it's like compared to other places, it's not. The other girls? No. I mean, like, obviously, they probably have that listed as well.
It changed over the years.
Yeah,
What is
wow.
revolutionary is Asia coming up with new, interesting ways to monetize these relationships.
Super
They saw a
Yep.
gap in the market of lonely singles in your area and filled it with the hottest people and non-people you'll ever see. All we need is your name,
AI
ID,
bots.
and the last 4 digits of your credit card.
That's
There's
right.
services that let you rent a boyfriend or girlfriend to scratch that relationship itch you've been having, where you can eat.
It's not just Thailand. They have it in Korea as well. I don't know about China. I forgot. I think they have it in China. I think they have that in China. Rent a date. You can rent dates. It's gonna happen here. You know that. If one of these adult stars asked me to do that, a rent a date. I'd have a fucking blow up doll for having make a live stream out or something like that, say an update or something. Now, they'd be offended by that. But I like to make a mockery out of everything. Let's face facts. Let's face facts, everybody. Going on a date, woman, if you're gay, you go out with a man, that costs money. If you're okay, but guys, you go out with a woman, that costs money, no matter what. Okay? If you use OnlyFans, it costs money. If you have a real life date, that costs money. There's a difference, though. And having a woman that, you know, having her right next to you, that's actual physical that we're supposed to have. I'm going on these different sides here. You're gonna get stuff from me you don't get from other people, really. You don't. You don't. Because I'm through all these different sides, and I see the different sides, okay? You meet a woman, you talk with them, you learn, we're supposed to have that. We're supposed to, you know, or man or whatever, transgender, doesn't matter. We're supposed to get out, be social. We're supposed to have relationship skills, we're supposed to have life skills, we're supposed to have job skills. We're supposed to have that to learn how to, you know, apply these for jobs and college and everything else in life. We're supposed to do this, right? But there are some people that, well, are not good at relationships. Me, for example, I don't want one, really. I've had a chance at marriage and stuff like that, and it scared the shit out of me. The lady was a lot older than I was, too. But in others, it's like, I got my own problems as well. I'm bipolar. That doesn't help. And if I get angry or upset, I just leave the place. I don't want to bring people down, really, or anything. I just leave the place. With different, you know, things that I've got and stuff like that. There'd be a lot of women that say that I do great in relationships, but, you know, where I am, it's like, there are times where I just need to, like, get away. And people go like, where the fuck have you been? And it's like, well, I need to get out. I need to get some air. It's like, you know, be around military or war and PTSD and stuff like that, where you just need to be away from people sometimes, you know? That's me. Sometimes, you know? You know, it's just, you know, you gotta have that me time. That goes for everybody as well. But you talk about how going back, you know, no matter what situation you're in, it's going to cost money. Let's get back to it.
Eat a meal and spend quality time together as couples do. After your allotted time is up, you just move on with your day as usual. No need to deal with all the drama of being in a relationship.
That's crazy, right? Why, we're really going somewhere special, huh? That's so damn sad. Yeah.
I can't judge exactly with stuff that I do. How I met women in porn is writing. It's some, you know, erotic writing and stuff like that. I've done paranormal stuff. They know me from that. I hate politics. I hate both sides and stuff like that. So, I've also done some scenes as well. I've done plenty of naughty videos plenty of adult videos as well. I'm a sexual person, they're sexual. I love them with all my heart and soul. It's not just sex. And with the writing that I've done, you get to know them and stuff like that. I don't need them for sex, though. I don't need them for that sex thing. If you're going to be alone, you can go and get free porn as well. And I'm not going to, they ain't going to like what I say, but I'm just saying. Because, you know, and with these women, I don't care about the sex too much. But we have a thing in common where we could be a lot more horny than normal people are. That goes for men or women. I don't want to have be in a relationship with a woman that doesn't have the sexual drive that I do. I have a huge sex drive. I go for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours through day and night, whatever. So there's times when I don't. But I'm a very sexual person. I can be a very sexual person. And stuff. So that puts me in with the ladies in porn versus a normal, so-called normal. Nobody's normal. I don't want to hear that bullshit. There's no such thing as normal. There isn't. But these days and stuff like, oh my god. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's right. Experience where you get to interact with many attractive hotties in one sitting. Check out these NPC theme parks. Asian guys who look like they came straight out of a video game are just strolling around, waiting for you to hit the A button so they can start their NPC dialogue. Well, now that I'm looking closer, not a whole lot of talking going on.
That's right. This is what they do over there. What the fuck is this?
Forward.
You're selling.
Hey, good on these guys for being able to do this without laughing. Me as an NPC, a tired innkeeper or an old maiden type of wizard.
Did
you put your name on the goblet of fire? Okay, what if you hate outside? Dealing with the hassle of commuting somewhere and interacting with...
This is weird, to be honest. Nah. See, what they're doing over there is what we're going to do over here. We're going to do this over here, too. Yeah, people do this all the time.
Gross, real people.
What the fuck happened with humankind? The problem now is that, basically, this is where I think the problem came from, is it's actually the internet. It's the internet and wealth disparity. So, like, back in the day, if you were a, kind of like a weirdo or a loser, you would kind of get thrown into social situations naturally over the course of your life, right? You go to church, you be around people. You go to school, you're around people. Nowadays, you got kids that are like, homeschooled. They're not going to school anymore because of COVID. They're on the internet all day, like jerking off to like animals that aren't real. Talking to like AI girls and like OnlyFans, and it's actually a dude in India. And so, like, I mean, this kid and like
no, hold it, Aussie baby, no. You can't do that. You have to verify who you are. You have to verify. It's you have to acknowledge that also with OnlyFans. You have to verify who you are. You can't just put up a fake person, a fake picture. Now, as a content creator, can I create an AI likeness and do videos? I think I can. But I have to have verified that I'm on there. I have to have my state ID on there. So I can't be a guy from India pretending to be a woman. If there's even, I feel, oh man, I'd be pissed. But yeah, you have to you can't just be fake. Can't, you know. You're not gonna. You don't have to worry about that. Now, like I said, you can create AI media, because that's, you know, you're right, content creator of making that content. You can make all these men, women, and stuff like that. I've made my own erotic stories. I've created men, women, you know, stuff that's like almost like trans, gay, lesbian relation, not gay relationship, but lesbian relationship. I haven't made a gay one. But I made a lesbian, bi, stuff that's almost like trans, you know, a woman turning a man and turning a woman. It's weird. It's stuff with like Star Wars, stuff like that, and everything. It's adult, and they like it, so that's why I did that. But because of how the stories are, action, eroticism, stuff like that. But yeah, you can't be a guy from India to do that.
They're 16. It's 16 years old. I mean, bro, this kid's done. Like, and then so like, yeah, they're real to me. No, I'm telling you, like pencil drawings, yes. And it's a great time to be, yeah, so this is really what happened. I think it's the internet that really dialed things up.
I know, those can be annoying.
All artists are furry? No, I said this before. What do y'all think the odds are that Hitler would have been a furry?
These AI husbandos and waifus, the perfect significant other, since they can be anything you want.
Like
cute,
10%?
funny, available to talk to at any time of the day. Plus, they don't smell or have to go.
But if you're using somebody else's voice, somebody else's likeness, stuff like that, they will shut you down eventually, or real fast. And you have to have the other woman's consent with that, even with the voice or with the body. You have to have their consent, legal consent, verified or whatever. And if you're in the adult industry, you have to do this with sex scenes. You have to do it with OnlyFans. This is what most people don't know. You have to have all this documentation, which is why a lot of people just do it solo, because they don't want to go through the BS of getting all this stuff signed. If you have money, if you have representatives that you could pay to do all this BS, paper, legal BS, this not going to be a big deal, you know. Otherwise, but most is just going to be solo, or just you and another person. So,
number 2. Lucky.
Babe, can you teach me Chinese?
Of course, little kitten. Let's start with something simple. For example, hello in Chinese is ni hao. Say it back to me.
I knew that one.
Ni hao.
Damn, that sounded perfect.
What if you take Chinese?
No.
There isn't one Chinese language. There's 4 or 5. There's simplified, traditional. There's Cantonese, Mandarin, and stuff like that. There's 4 different languages. Then there's simplified Chinese, and then there's traditional. So there is not one Chinese language. People need to know that.
Anyone blushing? Why am I blushing?
Video games, where the main appeal is a big roster of attractive characters, have gotten a big boost in popularity lately. Genshin Impact, the otome genre, like.
See, this is this game, bro. Like
Dragon Ball Z erotica.
Like Love in Deep Space, raking in the big bucks in double digits. I'm talking like 30 million USD in just 1 year. These sexy
and this game, I actually knew a girl that played this game recently.
Yes.
And she said it was actually kind of boring. Because I was curious what it was like. Now, I never played it myself. Tectone played this? Of course he did. Yeah, he probably beat the game already. But no. And so this app boring for girls? Yeah. She said it was boring.
Of pixels can already retire at 8 months old. Damn, what are these people paying for? It must be really engaging with fun gameplay mechanics. Maybe
it's not.
The only thing I see is great gowns, beautiful gowns. You shouldn't do that.
Don't touch me
last
there.
but not least, the most lucrative form of capitalizing on parasocial relationships is the live streaming industry. We've seen it time and time again. Entertainment.
That's right. No, that's why you get all these weirdos that are getting attached to these girls on the internet. It's really, it's impressive, honestly. It really is. It's impressive. People like to do that.
Who lock in for 8 hours, 7 days a week, that end up cultivating a super loyal fan base to support.
You gotta know. It's just, I try to find the right words, and there's different words to put party in my head. It's temporary. OnlyFans, these pay sites, and pay dates, escorts, or brothels. That's temporary. Going out, meeting real people, having real relationships is what we're supposed to have. That's stuff that breaks time and space. That breaks all barriers, that breaks all borders and everything else. It transcends everything. It transcends race. It transcends religion. Stuff that this stuff isn't going to do. It's like some of the connections I have with the porn stars on OnlyFans, though, there is that reality where I've had that chance to do stuff. But I need to work out this body, okay? I got some man boobs, but now I need to lose some weight as well. But the biggest thing is, like, money. And I'm dead poor. And, I've had some doll stars, say we should do collaborations with this stuff and that stuff. And of course, as bad and hard on money as I am, my question is, in my head, how much is this going to cost? If you don't have money, you shouldn't be on there. I'm telling you, boys and girls, don't get OnlyFans if you ain't got money. Don't be on there. Unless you got, and the thing is, that's what it's about, it's money. Now some of them that I know on OnlyFans, the adult stars, I know them for up to 5 years. Some of them not even longer now. Some of them I have a long history with. A long history that goes back to my childhood. That's really just me and them. So there's a psychic thing. And some of them I've gotten into bad arguments with, but we come back together. And the crazy thing is, no matter how bad it is, I always have love for them. Even the people that I broke stuff off with. There's a learning experience where I wanted to evolve, and this is a learning experience. It's a lot different for me, and of course, with some of them, you're always going to have that defense mechanism. Well, this is just money. This is just about money. Why do you love me for me? And it's like I've told you some of them, well, don't get this with me. This isn't how you treat your other friends. This isn't how you do it. You don't treat me like this. I've done a lot of stuff for you, and the argument go back and forth that way. You know, I've done stuff for you, you've done stuff for me. And I'm talking about, you know, stuff, I've done stuff for some of them that their own agent wouldn't do. And it's like we have arguments, we have blow-ups, then we come back together later on and stuff like that and talk about different things. And it's like, the thing is, you know, I mean, they got their own friends. They got their own boyfriends and girlfriends to have, you know, real life sex with. It's just, it doesn't make sense. It's a temporary thing. It's a temporary. It's like that's what, you know, we do. We're also there to give you love that you don't get at home. It's like a high. You know, get high, you need that love. Watch some good erotic stories to make you feel good, make you feel loved and appreciated. I could do that. Want them to get your rocks off and stuff like that. At that time, you know, that's what they're there for. You want a real relationship, you want real flesh and blood, you want a man where you can feel with your hands, your body, and kiss and everything else. That's what we're supposed to do. You know, like that's what, you know, to, you know, climb that mountain to get those different levels of humanity. Is to have a real relationship, you know.
Or them, which eventually leads to some fans getting overly invested in their favorite streamer. So after normalizing these parasocial relationships fueled by capitalism, Chad, as a society, are we cooked? Yeah, maybe, but not all the way. Medium rare at most. People are feeling lonelier.
I think it's probably better that the guys have like a parasocial, because like the thing is that right now we're in like a weird time period where you don't have AI that's good enough to where like you can fall in love with the AI and like just
they can Aussie baby, they can
deal with that.
They do.
And so you have to be stuck with a real girl, which causes a lot of problems, right? Because like sometimes you stalk them and then you go to jail, or they get older and you don't like
my friends, because I've had before. I've had women stalk me from dating sites. I've had stalkers, they rename their names on these dating sites. And then we talk, you know, get a camera or whatever, and I turn and say, hello, how are you doing? And she'd show up going, how the fuck did you get here? She goes, hi. I'm like, what the fuck? How'd you get here? You know, it's me. Don't block me. I'm like, holy shit. The craziness of this stuff will scare the shit out of you. Some stuff that I've been through with some dating sites, stuff of nightmares. And somehow also just play that they come on dating, they'll try to be it's like, fuck you, you know. I bet there's some crazy ass shit. Crazy.
Like them anymore. And so that's bad. And then what else besides that? They get a boyfriend, and then so now you fucking hate them now. It's bad. It's real bad.
Pride.
Sometimes, yeah.
and lonelier every year. Going
What if
out,
they get
meeting
fat?
people naturally and actually becoming friends with them is a lot easier said than done. On one side, it's cool seeing people find new ways to fulfill their social needs. Sure, these types of relationships aren't the norm, but if it's between two consenting people with healthy expectations that
I think that it will become more the norm, and it will become increasingly more unhealthy. I do. I think that.
I think with stupid conservative people taking over, they're trying to outlaw a lot of stuff. So they're going to attack these fan sites or sites. I'm on both sides. I'm not for outlawing. I'm not for outlawing report or age verification BS. Not for any of that stuff. Because it's a scam. But it's the West too. Back East, it's normalized more these brothels. And I feel like it should be that way here. Just let people do whatever the fuck they want. That's the way it should be. Let people do what they want. You know? Keep government and everybody else out. You know? If you're not hurting other people, you know, do what you want. You know? But I don't see that right here in the West so much. You know? And there's good and bad with this. There's bad side of where we're supposed to have real relationships. We're supposed to get out and talk with people. That's what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to sit in a cave and wallow in our own shit and everything. And you know, which most people seem to be doing nowadays. You know, that's not, you know, back in the 80s or 90s and stuff, or before, we went out, we played with each other and played sports, all this, and
this is the future. The future is a bunch of people that are becoming emotionally attached to reassurance and attention from something that's fake. And the reason why I think it's happening is because, like, especially for guys. So back in the day, do you want to know why they all, like, you know, the Titanic is sinking? What do they say? Women and children first. You know why?
I threw them
because
off.
one dude can get 10 girls pregnant.
What?
So every guy doesn't have to reproduce. But like for a woman, obviously it's a different dynamic because you can only pick one guy at a time. Readability, well that's the dynamics.
I said, step aside, bitch. I'm getting all this. You ain't getting all. I'm getting all this boat. Probably ended up shot, but at least I stood up for my rights, didn't I? Gotta stand up for ourselves, right?
It's like you saw that crocodile. He got a whole lake full of hose. You think that's one crocodile? The whole lake is full of hose. There's only one of him. Think about that.
Aren't a replacement for real-life interactions, then we good.
Yeah, you want to see a harem anime? Go to the animal kingdom.
It's not good. As with all human experiences, there's a science behind it. Even with gifting money during a live stream, the live aspect makes it feel like this is a normal person within reach compared to an A-list celebrity behind 55 bodyguards and 55 PR people. It's all in real time, so there's a higher chance the streamer you're supporting will notice you. And if you consistently show up during their streams, you'll build that dopamine-inducing rapport with them. You'll give them the money, and they give you a thank you.
They say thanks.
Thank you so much for this.
God. Dude, Ninja used to be so funny. He used to be such a fucking piece of shit asshole, and I loved him. He was so good.
Oh my god, guys.
It also feels like you're in an exclusive little community full of people with the same interests as you. Like a sports team or a D&D group that gets together every week. except the activity is one person entertaining everyone.
Yeah.
There is a slippery slope with this type of environment. It's a breeding ground for people who are chronically online, using these relationships to replace real ones, leading to
I'll read like 4chan threads and shit about like me or about like
4chan?
other streamers. That shit is so funny. It is so funny. Like I'll even screenshot messages they type. I can't read any of them because like it would be like kind of exposing. But like people, they really have a lot of opinions about everybody. And source, and it's funny. Poll often makes threads about you. Yeah, I know that. I read them. I know that. The main concern is that because Asmon Gold, I have the word gold in my name, they think that I'm Jewish.
Gold.
And this has been a big point of contention for the past couple of years.
Oh.
I swear to God. This really what it is. Yeah, no, I'm being real. And so is it true though? I'm German. No.
So?
It's very not true. But it's just funny. It is really funny to read it.
Situations where someone goes overboard with their affection towards a one-sided friendship. Like that man who sold his baby for $16,000 to a couple looking to adopt, and then blew all of that money on tipping live streamers. He was arrested afterwards, since this whole thing was very illegal. He traded in his...
I mean, if you bust a nut and you get paid $16,000 for it, I feel like that's kind of winning. I mean, is this guy really a loser or is he a winner? I feel like he's the only one that's coming out ahead. I mean, really, like, damn, he didn't even have to, like, that's because he's a guy. He sold a child? Oh, right. That's, because you're not...
How some of these fathers become a father, dude? I don't understand how pieces of shit like them, these trash... Like, why don't... They have it removed. Did I just remove that? So they can't have kids, because they're pieces of shit. I don't feel like going over that guy's case too much because
supposed to do that.
I've used enough times.
Okay, all right. Let's pretend like we give a fuck. Oh wow, that's so terrible. Oh no. Oh god. Oh wow. What the humanity.
You do it.
Child like a rare Pokemon card, only to end up broke and in jail. Just because you can have a kid doesn't mean you should have one. You can't even relax, even as a baby. Gotta lock in at all times.
Where is, as much as I hate government and social services, how does a piece of shit stay like that guy have a child? How is he able to take care of a child? I mean, at that point, he should probably just be executed for being an idiot, not caring about his child. Just execute the guy, get over with.
Lonely people are an easy target for these types of business models, where you have someone keeping you company in exchange for money or your time. There is promise of a type of intimacy when you become a fan.
This is why I don't take donations, by the way. It's because you take donations. This is how losers
you take donations, Ozzy.
And people think that they give you money, then they're going to get something out of it. Nah, bro, I don't do that. Like I would just rather not have the money. No, it's because I've seen this happen a lot.
Oh, I see.
I used to take donations because like we got a lot of money. We got a lot of money from donations back in the day, but it's just annoying. That's it. What about Wild Gold? I'll take that. Yeah, that's fine. Are subs like that too? Yeah, I mean a little bit, right? But like that's why I don't really spend a lot of time like talking about it or giving a fuck, right? It's whatever.
Influencer you interact with daily. Sometimes it's scary, seeing how easy it is to escape from the sucky parts of life just by using the internet. Kongto, a 32-year-old fan, lives at home.
There it is. Yep, he's cooked. He's done.
It's over. It's already over for him. He's done.
With his parents in Miaolai, Taiwan, having never kissed a
That's
girl,
right.
Kongto feels more capable of expressing love to a live streamer on the internet
she's
than
hot.
to a woman in real life.
Yeah.
He watches his favorite live
No,
streamer.
it makes sense.
Really
I can relate.
She's gorgeous. Wow.
Yeah, I
No
can
wonder
relate.
they pay. Yeah, right?
It's 100 filters? No, she's real. No, guys, she's real.
Yeah, she's not AI. Stop your
in
shit.
private, fearing his parents' reaction
Stop
if
your
they learn
shit.
of his habit. Becoming a fanboy or a fangirl is a lot more accessible now since we all have computers and phones. You can fall down a rabbit hole of a random you never heard.
You look like, I mean, if you go over and you pull up any of this, like just chat, there always are going to be like, you got to usually scroll down a bit.
Right.
But like, there are the girls that, you know, like this office worker, man. Oh, wow. Let me be your favorite girl gamer. For sure. And, there's a lot of them. Oh, happy day. Look at that. Then there's so many of these people that do this. Yeah. There's people with less viewers usually. No, the girls that have less viewers, so like you think about it. How am I going to say this? Let's say that you have the chance that you're playing. All right, you're playing Fortnite. You're going to play Fortnite. Do you want to queue into a lobby of 100 people or 1,000 people to win the game?
I'd rather have a woman I could have physical relations with, but me not wanting a relationship. I'd have some fun with some of the ladies on OnlyFans sometimes, but I'm not gonna, I know them, for a long time, and if we didn't have a personal relationship in a way, I would give them the time of day. If they don't subscribe to me and like some of my stuff, and if there isn't that, wanting to get together physically and do things together, I'm not going to give them, that time of day. I'm not, So it's like there has to be a connection, and it's like I remember some adult stars say, "Why do you come to my live stream?" It's like, no, I don't share. I'm not doing this. Like, there's private time if anything, and it's like I've been real straightforward with some, where it says like, I'm not gonna spend all this money on you or whatever, but I can go out and get a date anytime I want, which I can. Me getting a date, you can't tell from this camera, because I look pretty shitty on it. All I have to do is go out and talk to a woman. That's all I have to do. It's pretty easy to get a date. But do I want to put the effort into doing that? And I think this is the big thing, is people don't want to put effort into a relationship. Most people don't. And you don't want to have that argument if you have different opinions. This is one reason why people go to OnlyFans and these other sites. So you don't have to worry about an argument. This is the biggest of reasons, right? So you don't have to worry about getting on a subject that you worry about getting into an argument with. You don't have to worry about building a relationship. It's just got the money, go in, do your thing, that's it. That's the thing. I don't know if I should do it anymore on this. If it's worth it or not.
$100 people, right? Because it's like there's less people you got to fight with. So you have people like all the time. 1,000 seems fun. No, it's not. Because what if you donate $100, but there's 1,000 people in there, and so they don't know as much.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid.
Think about it.
I mean, okay, some people are fine. I should judge. I should. And some of the adult performers that may see this as well may get pissed or whatever. But some are okay being in the live stream and, you know, talking around with others. The live stream, me, I'm not. And I tell some, it's like, I don't do that. It's like, no. If I didn't have any time with you, it's going to be me and you. It's going to be me and you private time. And this is one thing with me and some of these adult stars that I know, is that we have private time together. I've known them for a long while. We have some private time. It's not even really just sex or anything, but we talk about different things, different subjects. It's not even sex that I so much care about. Though I love pleasing them, It's about what can I do for them as well, you know, pretty much. It's about them. That's why they like me. Because I like pleasuring them. You know, if we're together. I don't want to be in a stupid ass room with a bunch of other guys. Some people are okay with that. Hey, if you're okay with that, that's cool. That's cool. That's fine with me. That's fine. Amen to that. You know, but me, they do give me a lot of time. They do. It's just me and them or whatever. I've been offered collaborations with me and their girlfriends as well to do collaborations. So there's so much like back and forth and everything. Good, bad, so much stuff. Because, like, you know, like I said, if the person isn't really into me as a person, if it's just about money, because one thing is, I also work on there. They know me as well. We have years together. There's a difference there. There's a relationship there. You know, with most it's not much, but there's a past and everything. And, you know, they come knocking on my door. I don't knock on their door, they knock on my door. There's that difference. I'm going to treat them well. They treat well. I didn't treat them well. I didn't give them a lot of loving. I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about money. I give them something also they're not getting from their fans or subscribers. Because believe me, there's a lot of stuff that adult creators don't get from these fans that they get from me. And there's stuff that they get from me that they don't get from their husbands, wives, whatever.
Heard of before and come out the other end as a super fan in a day. I subscribe to the mindset people can do whatever they want with their life as long as they're not hurting anyone.
They can do whatever they want with their life, but that doesn't mean I can't make fun of them for being weird and stupid. Like, you're gonna do some weird ass shit, you're gonna tell me it's not weird, I'm gonna say yeah it is.
And I'm proud to be an American where I can be a weirdo. God bless the USA, damn it. Amen. Oh, God. He's a weirdo, too. He knows that. He's just saying that just to make funny. He just saying that to make funny. Well, he is and he isn't. But fuck. That's awesome. Holy shit. That's what makes America so great, right? Oh god, I don't know, but other countries, it's not as strict. It's not so fucked up. Like, it doesn't have stupid religious BS. This country has too much religious BS. In Asia, they don't have that religious BS. Though Islamic, you know, the Muslims have been the past 25 years. What they have with Sharia law and everything, how they've fucked a lot of stuff up. You got Christians going over there in parts of Asia, going over there, but it's not as, you know, as bad over there. I don't know, it's as bad. It's more open in Asia than it is in the United States. You know, France used to be very open, but you got Sharia law happening in France, Germany, that had free, open thought, free thinking, and oh man, things have changed, man, in Europe and stuff. But go ahead, Aussie.
Yeah, like that's it.
To me, I got my own to worry about. There is, however, still a bit of a negative connotation when you hear someone say they're a fan of watching live streams. They sort of have a brand image to uphold. Here, check out this live stream launcher starter pack. Dark, dingy basement, bed rotting, hasn't left room all day, minus 50 in social skills, not a single drop of water was consumed since yesterday.
That's me, everybody.
I think what's closer to reality
I'm
is
proud to be
people
American where I
watching
can
live
do
streams
that
more
24/7.
or they'll have it on in the background where they're not interacting with it 100% of the time.
No, that's also that's how you get that parasocial shit built up, right? Because like at that point, like you're on that second monitor and it's like they're your friend and you're listening to them. You want to know when I watch live streams?
I got 5.
When I pull up my own VOD.
I can watch porn, I can watch everything while doing this stream.
That's one. I don't watch that shit.
This is what America's all about, baby.
Straight up. Like, I've never watched live streams ever. Yeah, my number 2? Yeah, I don't. Like, I just... The reason why, like, because... The reason, except...
By the way, I make this silly, goofy laugh just to make fun. I make this as a venting also as well. It's kind of like a made-up laugh, but I just like making a silly, goofy laugh sometimes like this, though.
That Asian bunny... Anyway, so, the reason why is that I just don't really spend a lot of time...
Did you? Or...
I feel like a lot of live streams are boring.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're just boring. Like, it's just like, I mean, I don't know what to say. It just is.
They are. Well,
is one of many bachelors
who
watch live streams to combat.
What are you learning from these lives? Some provide entertainment. Some of the gaming streams, sometimes you can just laugh your ass off. So that's cool. There are some, no doubt. But otherwise, all right. So now, unless I'm learning something, unless it's educative, unless I'm learning something, yeah, you know, because after a while you're just losing brain cells. You know, you're just losing brain cells.
Holiness. This is especially prevalent in Asian countries where many young men must leave their family villages for work in city factories. Without a familiar face for miles around, they turn to live streams
that's
to
their
make
new
the
life.
environment less isolating.
That's
if this
right.
helps, then good.
Yeah, because that's farmland over in Asia. That's farmland and stuff. So they have to either go to college, and they probably don't have money for college. You know, go to factories. That's the only source to make big money is get back to your family or the community village that you live in over there. So,
on the other hand, it's kind of like an illusion of socially connected.
See, hopefully when J.D. Vance runs for president and he wins, then we can have government-mandated girlfriends.
with someone.
The state
really
issue.
depends-
Force them. Force them to like us. Force the women to like us guys. I believe that. I'm a strong proponent for that. As much, there's a lot of stuff I don't like about J.D. Vance. Who does that, I'll vote for him. Am I a pig for thinking that? Maybe. Am I a piece of shit or a piece of trash for being like that? Maybe, but when you said TLC, God darn it, we're gonna get it. Here's by farce or force.
on each person's situation and how reliant they are. Will they have a full-on breakdown if their favorite creator gets
Or a sofa.
snapped away? Or will the world keep turning for them? At the same time, might these live streamers be using their fans' loneliness to exploit them for profit? Well,
They absolutely are. Girls do this shit all the time. There's plenty of girls who are in relationships that don't say it because it's bad. People won't like them as much. Like, that's just how it, I mean, that's how it is in K-pop. That's how it is in all kinds of idol culture. Like, of course they do that. I mean, like, you think about it. Do you want to make $5,000 or $15,000? Well, you want to make $15,000, right? Because it's more money. Yes. And so, Japan's notorious for that. I mean, Japan doesn't have a monopoly on being weird. Like, we do that shit over here. And
No. Let me tell you, most people don't know anything about Japan, how open they are with, trans type stuff. That it wasn't even called trans like stuff over there. It's a lot different there in Japan, China, where over here it's like it's fought over and hated with LGBTQ stuff. Over in Japan, everything is open. You don't even fight over it. It's just you are who you are. Who gives a shit? And in anime, they have all this stuff that's been going on over there for decades. Okay? It's just that people don't know about it. It's like if they see it, they think, oh, no, God, that's stupid LGBTQ stuff. No, that's the way it's always been. You have a history where a samurai was told to take in a gay lover. An apprentice is a gay lover, It's a lot more open over there in Japan and parts of Asia. Over here, people have fought for their, trans rights or whatever stuff. When you think about it, what I do or do not like about that stuff. In Japan, it's a lot more open. I actually like how Japan is open about a lot of, sexuality and stuff like that, and how crazy it is, because we live in a simulation. All the stuff that we're fighting over should be fought over. Just do what you want to do. Fuck everybody else. Don't weaponize your agenda on either side. It's like, I think people would be cool if people didn't weaponize each different side and say hate each other for this, hate the other side for that, this and that. It's just ridiculous how it is in here in the U.S. and Europe and stuff like that. Whereas Japan and parts of Asia, it's just a lot different over there. It's more open with stuff. Let's see, dress up and stuff like that, I forgot what they call it when you dress up, costumes, cosplay. They've been open ass stuff for decades, so.
And, that's it, 50K. Yeah, a lot of these girls get a lot of money, so they don't want to say that they have a boyfriend, because if you say that you have
It ruins the illusion. It ruins the fantasy. It does. And even so, oh God, some of the girls I know Oh my God, jeez, I've been so upfront with some sometimes. It's surprising we talk sometimes. God, I love him though, because sometimes we do argue a lot. Damn. Let's move on. No,
boyfriend. That's going to get the people that think that if they give you money,
fantasy.
It's like this is a gotcha game, right? It's like a
It's like you're with a guy or a girl. Why am I wasting my money on you, right? It's like, why am I wasting my money on you? They're not going to admit that they have a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. They're not all the time, you know. If they just say, I'm doing this, see with this, you know, meet up.
Hopefully they get like a hard pity where like you spend $1,000 on like then she'll DM you or something. And so like these guys will try to do it and they'll try to make as much money as possible and like give these girls money so she'll talk to them. But if they know that she has a boyfriend, it's like, well, you're probably not going to even try to play. You're not going to give them any money at all. Y'all ever see a girl go through some breakup and then her donations go up? Yeah. Stop reviewing takes industry? No, I'm just saying like that's just the way it is.
Sorta, kinda, possibly yes.
今天给大家讲一下怎么样走进土豪的世界。我相信每一个主
This is
播
how to
其实
get
都
rich
想
guys to
要
give you money.
多拉几个
Getting
土
rich
豪
guys to visit
用
your
户
live
吧，
stream
然
rooms
后
more
提高
often.
自己的价格，自己的销售。
Yeah.
Although it does take two to tango. No one's forcing you to give away all your life savings.
No, these girls like they really get into this.
They do.
It's actually crazy.
They put a lot of effort and stuff, and it costs a lot of money and stuff. And when people attack these girls, I attack people back a lot of times because this costs money for them. They put it on a show for you. A lot of students, they're there to give you entertainment, give you some love, and they give you one-on-one time a lot. You know, they want to give you that attention. Is that one time sometimes for the right amount of money. That's just between you and them. And it costs money to have all the makeup, to have all the audio, video equipment, to make those videos, do all the cosplay, the dress up, all the lingerie, the stuff they got. That's tens and tens of thousands of dollars that they're doing for you, for me, or whoever else. So when people say that everything's just about money, it's not. They're doing that for you as well. So that actually pisses me off because I see both sides of the spectrum with that. It costs money to make money. If I'm supposed to do better content for you, it takes money for me to do that. If I want to, make my own, if I want to put my stories into movies, make them to animation videos, that requires hundreds of thousands of dollars, probably. Depending, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. It takes money to make money.
How much they get into this.
Things just for a chance to be noticed, but it's...
I don't want these girls. I'm not going to allow guys just say it's just, oh, you just want money. It's like, it is about me, but it's not. It's about them putting on a good show for you as well. And it's not right to just think that it is just about money. A lot of women in the adult, in the porn industry and creators, they also do this because you are their family. For some of you, we are their family. Whether they aren't with their real life other friends outside of work, sometimes we are their family. And some of them really do care about us. Some of them love us. They appreciate us. They want us around, not just for the money. They just love us. They're glad. It's painful. Life is painful without us being together. It's how it really is. And when you have, some half years together and stuff like that, you become real friends. You talk about different things. How their day's been, what they've been doing, groceries, stuff without working out. So for some, it is personal, real friendship, real love. It's not about just the money. It's not. And I'm glad I woke up to this because I should have said this from the get-go. I've done some other videos. It's not always just about money. The money helps develop a relationship too. The money helps develop that relationship as well. It's about respect and love, giving back and forth.
It's also scummy to zero in on emotionally vulnerable people. It's like this giant spectrum. There's a lot of online personalities with super fans who support them.
If you are a girl and you're on the internet, you're manipulating men. That's just it. That's the way it is.
No, it's not just no. It's their job. It's about their job. I'm about to end it right here, just about, but it's not just about me. If they get pissed, they will say that. If they get pissed, they will say that's just about money, but it's not. It's about also developing good, real relationships, chemistry. And over time, if you're good, if you have chemistry, they'll want to meet up with you. They'll want to get together with you. So no, you are partly wrong on that. I have to correct you. There are different sides to this, and I've covered them. But anyways, got some other stuff I gotta do. Maybe I do some gaming. I don't know, but I'll have to cut this maybe sometime, put this on OnlyFans. I don't know. Anyways, leave a like, leave a comment. Anything, take care, everybody. I have to put different sides to everything because I'm on both sides. I know I come from different sides on this, so different points of view, and on both sides of the fence on this. Anyways, take care.